Greetings and welcome to another Extreme Business Set Mind series with myself, Paul Rees, and the amazing, the undoubted, I'm going to say, heavyweight champion of the mind world, Lee Tunnyware. Although I'm not going to put in the heavyweight title, I'll put you kind of medium weight title. Do you know what I mean? But for the rumors of it, you're going to be bantamweight by the end of next year. So happy days. Here we are, amazingly. And this week, I have an amazing topic, I've chose something this week that's kind of close to your heart because I've viewed you going through this many times. But I also really didn't understand this until I met you. I understand the importance of, understanding your own influence in how you create and build your business and I'm talking about, when I say everybody's influence. But here we are. This week's Extreme Business Set Mind subject is: success is a fracturing of your past drama. Let me say that again. Yeah. Success is a fracturing of your past drama. Well, for those people who don't quite get that, it means in its easiest way to describe it, your shit is creating your future. Now, I've just said a swear word then, you can sling it back me, but here's the thing. Lee, let's talk about this. Because business is exposing you as a shop window to everybody. And then everybody blames everything other than themselves for what is their lack of success in life, business, and every shape and form. I'm a big believer that unless you have your money alignment sorted from your past, you can't create that into your future. Past drama, what does that even look like, Lee?
Well, and I think there's one word there in my head, bear in mind, that didn't sound right to me, and it was the word blame, because I don't think it's a blame, shame. I think it's a realisation or an awareness. I don't think, but it is felt and spoke about in the blame, but I think that's one of the words. So our past success or our past negativity, past whatever we have past. So we can put that in a category. There's this myth or illusion, and I'm utilising those words. I've chosen those words, yeah? They're not organically default words I've used. This myth or illusion or mirage.
Oh, wow.
That the past exists in us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the first bit, because I've said that. So, because it sounds like that the past is behind us, like as in it's like, so we're on this road. It goes from A to B or 1 to 2. 1 is the beginning of a life, 2 is the end of a life. Yeah, A is the beginning of a life, B is the end of a life. And there's just this one big long road. The more so could be a path, one big long path. The more aware and the more experience we get, the more wisdom we get, that path might turn into a road, and then it might turn into a motorway. Oh, wow. Flow. Yeah. So the bigger the road, or the more freedom or more liberty and sovereignty we have. So we could be on a good road. We might be having success, and success may be showing up on our life. So we're starting to get the flow, which means we've gone from this path to a road. So we feel like we're in more control. When we feel like we're in more control, it means that other people's parameters, doubts, and fears and insecurities aren't impeaching on our personal or emotional self. So it feels like we have this freedom. We have this agility, ability, yeah? So but then when we're on this road for a while, we might feel the comfort zones and the pressure again, because now we might be in that transition point of going from a road to a motorway. Or we might be coming off of a road or a dual carriageway down to where it's narrowing down, like there's a bit of roadworks.
Oh, wow, okay.
And we get stuck in our own drama and armour, and it might trigger stuff from our past. But our past doesn't actually exist. There's no road behind us. The memories that we've been on a road, because when we lay out our past behind us, we talk about it's behind me now, it's behind me now. What's behind you now? the experience you experienced in the present moment that had its time and moved, that no longer exists, yeah, but we're still carrying the drama, or the negative emotion or doubt or fear or insecurity in us. So if I said it this way, so I join all that together and get it in, it's not what I say, it's what's heard. It's not what I say, it's not what I mean, it's what felt, yeah? But I know what I mean, yeah? But I'm saying it from Lee Tony Ware. I don't know how other people are going to hear it or interpret it, and nor is there any judgment or blame or any hierarchy or pecking order in what I'm saying. I'm just talking. Is if you ate a sandwich, yeah, on a Friday morning, a Friday lunchtime, would that sandwich still be in you on a Monday lunchtime? The sandwich you ate on a Friday lunchtime, would it still be in you on a Monday lunchtime? If you drank a smoothie on a Monday lunchtime, would it still be in you on a Monday lunchtime? If you drank a cappuccino on a Monday lunchtime, would it still be in you? If you drank a cappuccino on a Friday lunchtime, would it still be in you on a Monday lunchtime? Logically, it wouldn't. Your digestive system would process it, whether it's a smoothie, whether it's a sandwich, whether it's a cappuccino, whether it's a glass of water. Your body, whatever it is, takes all the nutrients from it, all the waste it passes. Mm-hmm. And it comes out number one or number two, gone. So when I say this statement, most people can't pass their past.
Wow. So true. We can't just digest all our memories, sit in the toilet and say, okay, that's it, I'm digesting yesterday. We can't
but
do
if it's
that.
waste, but we take waste, something that doesn't serve us, and we put it into the package of life and then allow it as like some sort of festering excretion to attack us mentally and emotionally, or even worse, if we get too much of it, we start to attack mentally and emotionally people we care about, or even worse, we start to eject them or deny them from our life, and we feel that they're the waste in our life. I mean, when we start throwing people out of our life, I'm not with you anymore, we're actually saying to them, you're the waste. Yeah. You're the negativity in my life. I'm feeling this way because of you. And some people might be in a toxic relationship. Now, a toxic relationship, if it's this word narcissism, and how does this all fit into success? But this word narcissism is a clinical term for a very small minority of people, not for 50% of the population. Yeah. It's a very small portion, a bit like a sadomasochist, or a bit like, what's the word for it? There's another word, I can't remember what it is. But a narcissist is a bit like a king or a queen in negativity. You don't have many kings and queens in society. Mm-hmm. So a psychopath, that was the word I'm looking for. Yeah, they can have psychopathic tendencies. They can have narcissistic tendencies, but to be a true psychopath, they have to put some action with it, and then they're a psychopath. Mm-hmm. All of us have, let's say, got narcissistic tendencies, negativity, but your reaction or your medication to not being able to pass the past sometimes shows up as success. So and this is where so many different layers to this, in so many different ways of looking at it. So you've got you inside your skin, that's your world, your domain. You've got outside your skin, which isn't your domain. There's a certain area you can own, naturally, depending on whether you've grown up in a rural location or a city location. Somebody in a city location will have a very small space, maybe a meter. Somebody that grows up in a rural location, like in the outback or in Wales or somewhere where the communities are small, they have more of a space. They've done studies on this with people going into toilets. Let's say men that go into a toilet and there's 5 toilets or 5 urinals. Which one is most used? So if you go into a gents toilet, yeah, and there's 5 urinals or 5 cubicles, which one do you go in? Now, there's studies that most will use the middle one.
Wow.
But if you think that they use the middle one first, then whoever comes in will use, say, the right on the end, and then the next one will come and use the left on the end. The 2 ones between those, less likely used. Some will go and use the end. So why do they use this? Because of their space. Because where people are the most vulnerable, yeah, is when they're eating, going to the toilet, sleeping, or having sex.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they're the most vulnerable. But same with animals.
Yeah.
So when our instinctive, what we call subconscious, our instincts, our patterns kick in, when we have, say, the consciousness and the awareness to choose what we're going to do, so vision, mission, plan, strategy, and you put all those together and you're doing it for an outcome of profit and an awareness that when I get that profit, that I'm going to reinvest some of that in the business, but I'm also going to take some of that to make my family's life or my life better. Maybe buy a home for my mum or pay off their mortgage, whatever it is. We have personal goals and we have professional goals. What a lot of SMEs or small startups do is it's all about them.
Okay.
Now, when it's all about them without, now they might, I've got a business plan. The business plan is only a small part of it. Bear in mind, it's only a road for the future. And on that road, if you were designing a road, you might go, well, this road's 100 miles long. Brilliant. Is there any petrol stations on it? How do you mean? Well, any services on it? Why is that important to me? Well, if it was a real road and people were travelling on it, can they comfortably travel 100 miles without any R&R? Is there a travel lodge on it or a holiday inn? Why? Well, can people travel 100 miles? Of course you can without stopping. All right, fair enough. But bear in mind, there was a time in our lives, in our history, that 100 miles in a stagecoach or 100 miles walking, that's why they call it a milestone. People want to know how far they've got to travel. So a business plan tells you how far you're going to travel, what's going to be on that journey. And if you haven't put on that journey personal and professional outcomes. So when we hit this milestone, yeah, we're going to have a bit of R&R and maybe award the team. If we haven't got 2, we got the business plan, we got the personal plan, and we got the business goals, and we got the personal goals. The personal plan has nothing to do with goals. All it is how are you going to maintain your energy or your team's energy? And you must have, if it was a long journey of 1,000 miles, you're going to need somewhere to refuel, somewhere to sleep, yeah, like a holiday inn, somewhere to eat. But what a lot of people do is they do the business plan and they don't do the personal plan to keep the well-being along, whether that's for themselves or their team. And the reason this comes back to the element of your question is we're either aiming for success in the professional, that's a proper business plan. And then we look at the personal, as in well-being, hours of work, whatever. And bear in mind, if you're the solo entrepreneur or the business owner, whatever, you might have to put a lot of time in. A lot more. It ain't going to be no 40-hour week when you initially kick it off. Not unless you've got a good team around you and you've got an investment and you've got a lot of money. Yeah, you'll be able to do that. But I can assure you that you're probably going to be putting your nose to the grindstone. But when you put your nose to the grindstone, it's a bit like putting a car on a road 1,000 miles long and not giving it any fuel, any oil change, servicing the brake pads. If you ain't looking after that vehicle, but you expect that vehicle to travel, then you're wearing the vehicle out. You're taking everything out of it. Now, what happens is with this past drama, kiddie stuff, let's call it, yeah. Why did you say kiddie stuff? It sounds disrespectful. Because some of it is, some of it's way back when, but it's stuff we haven't passed or stuff we haven't understood. So it's something emotionally or physically, yeah, or within our spirit, we haven't let go of. That's why they call it let go of the past. But there is no past.
But some people some people you don't even recognize they actually need to look at themselves. Some people don't even recognize their own drama.
I agree, but that's where it comes down to, and this is where I won't say I'm going out on a limb, but the standard industry stuff would be that you need boundaries. You need to now, and in a business, you need processes, communication frameworks, procedures, and the reason they're there is to stop drama. And they're like a road within a road. This is where we're going. This is the processes, the procedures, and the communication. This is the media training. This is everything that's going to take that's in line with where we're going. Mm-hmm. A bit like you're a campaign manager of your own future. And the reason you need processes, procedures, and communication frameworks, because most people organically, when they communicate through expectations. In business, you communicate through agreements. Agreements are part of processes and procedures where they say, right, who's in charge of that? Have you done this? Have you done that? If anyone's ever sat on a committee, a proper committee, that's how it's done. Everybody's accountable. There's one outcome. Yeah, people might throw a few ideas in. They're collaborating for an outcome. There's no personal success in it. If it's for a charity or something like that, the success is the outcome for the people you're doing it for. But what we're inclined to do is we want a certain level of success to medicate or neutralize a past trauma.
Wow, now that's powerful.
Yeah.
Are we saying that we're looking for success for self-recognition then, so we don't feel good about ourselves? Am I looking to be rich because I grew up in a poor home? Am I going to, I was blamed for everything as a kid, which was my drama, so I'm going to blame everybody else for my lack of success because that's my drama. Is that where we are with those thoughts?
Well, I think in my world, bear in mind, when I say it sounds like I'm judging you. I'm not. I'm just saying in my world. When I say my world, my inner being is a bit like if we went out for a meal. Yeah, the likelihood, because we're from similar backgrounds and different things like that, we most likely might order similar food. But there's a certain type of food you would like, and if we went out loads of times, the chances of ordering the same meal every time would be very rare, very slim. Either one of us would be copying the other or being influenced by the other. So what do I mean by that? We have our own personal taste. Personal taste doesn't come into professional taste.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because we can say, well, I like this and I like that. Yeah, that's your personal taste. But if you're working with a team and you've got 5 or 10 or 20 people, are they all supposed to like pepperoni pizza when they mightn't eat pizza at all? And that's so, for example, when you're selling a home as a property developer and you're living in a home, a lot of people, I've seen this mistake, and I made this mistake in the early days, you do the house up or the apartment up, the flat up, whatever, to your personal taste. And then you do an open house and people come in and they go, I don't like the curtains, don't like the carpet, don't like this, don't like that, don't like the other. And they won't, because I designed it to my personal taste. So when you're living in the home, you put in the old days, the wallpaper, the curtains, or whatever up to how you like it. Mm-hmm. When you're doing a business, it has to be, if you're selling houses, it has to be how the customer likes it, or you give them a neutral canvas.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah, but there's one bit you said there that I wanted. The reason I prefixed that bit, come back with the huge bit, and then I'll join that back up. But you said that's huge. Go on.
That's huge because what we are saying here is, in the SME world, it's almost a guarantee that a massive chunk, I'm going to say 90% of SME business people are building a business out of their own personal taste agenda, and I'm going to say personal ideas that they get frustrated because they don't know why somebody else wants to buy something that they like.
Yeah, and that's the point. So I learned that lesson the hard way. I mean, that lesson almost put me out of business when I was starting out in business, because I bought property and I bought a big Victorian place and I converted it into 3 flats. There was going to be 4, but I didn't but 3 initially. And I done the place up on a shoestring budget to get it sold, thinking once I got that, I could do the others up. And I mean, it was done perfectly. And I had my own conveyancer there, I had a mortgage broker there, I had everything there. And I had the people there. I'd done everything right, but I never sold it. And then I think, well, and all I heard, I was there and I was polite and nice and everything. And I wasn't trying to sell it. And I had loads of people looking around it. But I heard, because it was a first-time buyer's market, yeah, the market I was going after. Yeah, I don't like the curtains. And it was more the girlfriend or the wife. I don't like the curtains. I don't like the carpet. Don't like this, don't like that. Because they were looking at it like, well, yeah, like that it was somebody else had dressed and prepared this home for them to move into. And initially, when you hear it, the kiddie drama comes up. You think, yeah, do you know how hard I've worked on this place? You know how much money I've put in? And there's that little kid inside you to think, right, yeah. And the woman who says she don't like your curtains or don't like the carpet, you think, well, I'm not selling the bloody curtains, yeah? And you like that on the inside. And then they went, and I had probably about 30 people look at this, and it should have sold. And they went, and I had like a mortgage broker there, conveyancer there, and it all set up. Should have sold it, took a deposit that day, done. And I could have gone through the estate agents, but I didn't want to. I knew I was going to be doing a lot of property, so I thought I'd sell all my own stuff. So that was my road. Yeah, bear in mind, this was my first project. And I mean, now I imagine taking a.
How old are you on this project?
19.
19, and you're selling your property for the first time. Fair play to you.
So I'm doing this, and and of course the kiddie drama. I was still just out of short trousers. Yeah, I was still just about to stop sucking my thumb, but I thought I knew everything. Now I was a smart guy, intellectually, emotionally, possibly some call it emotional intelligence. I wouldn't call it that. I think that's just a buzzword in my world. So anyway, I sat back, they're gone. Now you've got no food in the fridge, nothing. Yeah, and I imagined that on that Saturday I would draw a deposit and I'll be in the money. Yeah, that's how I imagined it. It don't work that way. And then the conveyancer and the mortgage broker, they're gone. They were a lot older than me. Yeah, and I felt like a fool. And I remember sitting on my bed and almost crying, almost. Yeah, I didn't feel too good, felt like a failure. And now this idea is all crumbling on me. And I've literally put my life and soul and everything in it. When I say everything in it, all I had to eat over that weekend on the Monday was a Mars bar.
Oh, wow.
That's how little money I had left. I didn't owe any money, so I never went got stuff on credit. I don't like utilising other people's money, without their permission, like a bank or something like that. So I wouldn't go, right, Paul, I'll pay you next week. I didn't do it on the Never Never or the Land of Promise. Everything I'd done, I owned, even the house, and never even had a mortgage on the place. But I didn't understand finances or mortgages or different things like that. So I'm sitting there, and I sat there for about, from about 5 o'clock in the evening till about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I don't think I moved. Yeah, and I ran through everything, and I suppose that's when you wake up. When life don't turn up the way you want it to, you can either, you can scream until you're sick, jump, shout, punch walls. You can do what you like, but that's not having any what some might call self-control. No, that stopping yourself from doing it isn't self-control. Not feeling that you want to do it. Yeah, because you said self-realization, or something like that in or validation of self. There is no validation of self. And that's the illusion. That's another myth. I think personally that some of the stuff in the self-help books or whatever, it's buzz language to get people to buy stuff. There's no depth to it. There's no, on the surface, that makes brilliant. That's what I need. No, it ain't what you need. Self-realization means that you're separate. Self-validation means you're separated. There is one you. Now, you can fragment yourself into the emotional you, the intellectual you, the physical you, self-image, how do I look? Yeah, you can fragment yourself, but if you're in one department of self, you're not in self. So I sat there from 5 o'clock thereabouts in the evening till about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was close to tears, yeah? And I didn't talk to myself, I don't know how to do that, yeah? my other side of me, Mike. You know how to talk to yourself, Lee. No, I don't. I don't know how to do that. See, I don't have this split version of myself, my conscious self, my unconscious self. Yeah, and I don't do affirmations because I am a good guy. I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. If I am great, I don't need to tell myself I am. I already know it. So self-realization is probably one of the transition steps on these path to road to motorway. Okay. So what it is, it's every part of your existence. That's every memory. If you're medicating yourself, I'm going to do this to prove my dad wrong. I had a little bit of that. But on that night, sitting there, yeah, they're going to think I'm a fool now. They're going to think I'm a fool now. Who's going to think you're a fool? Over in my head, who's going to think? They think I'm useless. They know I'm useless. And you got all this past chatter. Who's they? Yeah. So I was only doing all of this to show they that I was capable, so they'd accept me. Why would you want to be accepted by people that don't want to accept you? But that's another level of that's pushing people out. So on that night, I woke up. The next morning, I did. Bear in mind, I had nothing in the food. In the fridge, I didn't have a pint of milk, so I had a cup of tea already. It was tap water, and amazing how tap water filled you up. But anyway, on the Monday, I'm walking around, I'm waiting for this place to sell because my life's on hold now. Yeah, I'm on this sort of business death row. Yeah, literally, you don't know whether you're going to make or break. You don't know. Yeah, and that's where I was. I was in limbo of success. Yeah. And I went through, they could have helped me, they could have this. I went through all the blame, shame, guilt, regret. But what happened to me was I stood up in my own autonomy. It was my success I was after. So why was it my dad's fault, that memory, that bit? I think I had sort of an emotional fast over that weekend and I cleared it all out. On the Monday, I met a mate of mine, Darren Cummins, who's nicknamed Sid because he used to dress like a punk rocker, and he had a Mars bar which we shared. Now that half a Mars bar, and that wasn't a duo one, that was an ordinary Mars bar, actually filled me up. Maybe actually feel a little bit sick because I'd eaten probably for about, it was on a Saturday, so I'd eaten from the Friday or the Thursday because I didn't have any, so I'd eaten for a couple of days. So when he gave it to me, and he gave it to me outside a carpet shop. And as he's giving it to me, because how's things going? I said, you're not too good. I was having a pee party. And this bloke come out and near enough bumped into my mate as we're eating this Mars bar with a carpet book. And a book, like pages of carpet where people could choose. And he's walking out with the book under his arm, shouting at the door, I'll bring it back to you tomorrow. I'll just show the missus. And he almost walked into the back of my mate. And then I got it. And then what I'd done was I've got carpet books, wallpaper books, paint charts, everything, run it the next set of 2 weeks later, had a load more people there and had fabric book, curtains, carpet book. And I said, you can choose whatever curtains you want. Yeah. And they looked around the flat. I said, now come and have a look at I said, for that price, you can have these carpets, this curtains, combination. Oh, and those are going, oh, they're lovely. Oh, they're really good. So what one's that? That's perfect. And this, that's right. I can see it now, John, can't you? Those curtains, that carpet. Oh, this would be amazing. And I sold the flat. Now, after that, I always gave people choice in their life. Yeah. And that made me an absolute fortune once I got past my pity party and my past. So whether that answers it in a nutshell, if you're going to the future, stay present and do your business plan and your personal plan and you'll be fine.
I mean, I loved how you approached that because you took what is perceived as a drama and you understood that that's not my success. My success is really understanding people. And I think you very beautifully put that in place. And I think that, let's think about this, all you people, that are watching this thing. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and throw in your comments and things. We're always happy to answer. But think about what the golden nuggets from this video here. What I suggest you do is save this video, keep replaying it. every time you replay it, you're going to get something new. You're going to get something new from this. And all the videos that we've done over the last couple of months, replay them, because you're going to get a golden nugget every single time. Happy days. And that's where we are. Lee Anywhere, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Everybody have a great day, and boom, bye for now.
Boom. Take care.